we turn to the fight over recalling Alameda County District Attorney Pamela Price. Community leaders and the families of crime victims got together in Oakland to plot their next steps to try and have her removed from office. Price's supporters also showed up to defend her. But the mother of a young man who was shot and killed by a stray bullet told our Betty Yu what Price did to her family, or rather didn't do for them, is indefensible.
But this was my kid. I'm sorry, I'm speaking out my truth about my situation, and you're going to hear it.
An emotional Florence McCrary spoke during the Q&A portion of a town hall hosted by the campaign to recall Pamela Price, known as Save Alameda for Everyone, or SAFE. Her 22-year-old son, Terrence, from Berkeley, was killed by a stray bullet inside an Oakland art gallery in 2016. McCrary said the intended target was shot multiple times and killed nearby. The suspect was charged for both murders under the previous DA in Alameda County. But just last week at a sentencing hearing, Price's office made a deal with the shooter for voluntary manslaughter of the intended target. The murder charge against McCrary's son was dropped altogether.
We would expect more empathy and more concern for mothers who have had to put their children in the ground at 22 years of age, an innocent victim.
McCrary said she was told Price's office didn't think they could win the case if it went to trial.
I'm a taxpaying citizen who works hard, and why should I have to now live with the fact that this person won't be held accountable for his choices?
McCrary shared her story before the crowd, which included Pamela Price supporters, who at times interrupted as tensions rose.
To change your mind, but you need to hear the truth as well.
This event comes after the DA held a rally with her supporters over the weekend. She pushed back against criticism that she's soft on crime.
We know that this recall is not about public safety. We have their campaign plan. This campaign plan says that they are concerned with the value of their portfolios. Real estate developers. There is nobody in here, there is nobody who comes through our office that is a real estate portfolio.
She referenced a fundraising booklet that said businesses have seen negative impacts to their property values as well as personal safety of their employees and families. Recall campaign leader Brenda Grisham.
It clearly says it's a draft. That's number one. And, you know, it was 13 pages long, but you went to page 8 or 9 and picked out one sentence.
It's all about public safety. If she can do her job and keep everybody safe and performing as a DA, I don't think that we need to come to this stage.
SAFE said it's collected more than 80,000 signatures in the last 5 weeks and needs 30,000 more. It plans to turn them in ahead of the March deadline and is targeting a special election in April. McCrary was one of the first people to sign the recall petition.
I did not vote for her, so I can honestly say I wasn't a proponent and a supporter of hers from the beginning. So, I mean, this is a choice. This is the choice of the people who have decided that she needed to be in office, but the recall, I think, needs to occur so we can have a different choice.
We reached out to Price for her comment on the McCrary case. We did not hear back. We asked USF professor James Taylor about the politics of this recall. He likened it to two different campaigns.
And the question is, when voters elected Pam Price as the first popularly elected DA in over 40 years, did they really hear her campaign that she was going to try to be a reformer? Do those voters still stay with DA Price, or has the opposition Operation SAFE or the organization SAFE been able to win the argument since she's taken office?
Meanwhile, Price has announced tonight the charges she's filing in the shooting death of former police officer Kevin Nishida. Nishida was killed in Oakland in November 2021 while working as a security guard for a TV news crew in Oakland. The two suspects in custody will face first-degree murder charges with arming enhancements. That could add an extra year to a 25 to life sentence if they are convicted. Nishida's wife, Virginia, told us tonight that DA Price declined to file special circumstance charges that could have led to life without parole. We also separately asked Price tonight to comment on this case. Again, we did not hear a response.